Okay, what we're going to do here today is make a parallel tip shaft into taper so it fits into a taper tip head. So if you see here, it doesn't quite fit on, as this is a taper tip bore, and we can measure using this spider gauge, and that shows there the taper tip. Currently the shaft size is 370, doesn't go in. So there's two options. You can either bore the head or you can taper the shaft. If you taper the shaft carefully, it'll have no problem. So what we're going to do here is to show you how to taper down a parallel shaft. So we like to get a secure vise and just clamp it lightly in there and tighten the vise. As you'll see, the tip of the shaft is 0.370. So we've got to get that down to 0.355. Okay, so we have 120 grit sandpaper. We just tear that, say, 1 inch down. Usually we prefer the cloth-based sandpaper so it doesn't tear when you're using it this way. So what we're going to do, we're going to, from 1.25 inches down, we'll just mark that with a pen. So 1.25 inches down. So we're going to taper that gradually down to the tip. So we're going to concentrate more on the tip, moving up towards that point here. So by doing that, we just use the sandpaper, go back and forth, and then turn it as we go. Concentrating on the tip more. We find this the safest way, as when you use a machine, if you slip, it'll dig into the graphite, and if you dig in too much into the graphite suddenly, it'll cause a weakness. Okay, so we've just about done one way around, and we can see we're slightly coning it down. Okay, we'll just double check with the head. Okay, we're getting there. So now we probably just need to take another couple of mil off. Okay, we've just done one more round. Check with the head again. So we see there, it's not quite going on. But when you see the shiny bits, they're the parts that we need to work on, where the head has left a bit of shiny marks. So we work on those parts. Okay, we're getting there. So that is still a bit tight. We like it to be a little bit loose so there's enough room for the epoxy to sit in between the shaft and the bore of the shaft. The bore of the head, I should say. So if you see the shiny parts, they're the parts that we need to take off. Okay, we're getting there. That should be just about right, I'd say. Okay, so that fits on there nice and smooth. The next thing we need to look at the iron head, we want to make sure that there is a cone in the top. So what happens if there's a sharp edge here that'll dig into the shaft and can cause breakage. So what we like to do is soften that out. And we're just going to do that with a bit of sandpaper. We have a little jig here that we make out of a bit of thread. And this just helps us soften off the So we're just going to soften off the top edge here. So what this will do, this will create a little bevel. So it allows the epoxy to create some cushion on the shaft. So this avoids breakage. So when the shaft goes in, you'll see there's a nice little cushion in the top here. There you go. That's coning down the shaft, tapering the shaft. Thank you.